Okay, so now we're going to talk about the renal corpuscle. So the renal corpuscle is, I've sort of drawn it here. And what it is the renal corpuscle is the, terrible, okay, it's the glomerulus plus Bowman's capsule. Those two things together make up the renal capsule. Glomerulus, which I guess I probably should try to spell that right. Glomerulus. Okay. So, so to orient ourselves, so here's our picture. Here's Bowman's capsule. Let's remind ourselves, this is the PCT, right? This is the DCT, just a section of it, all right? This is the glomerulus, all right? This is the afferent arteriole. This is the efferent arteriole. And if we look at Bowman's capsule here, you can see there are two layers. There's this outer layer and an inner layer. And the outer layer is called the parietal layer. Parietal layer. Sorry that my writing is so bad, but parietal layer. And we've seen that before. We've seen it in the serous membranes. That those layers are made of, there's a parietal layer there. The parietal layer of Bowman's capsule is made of simple squamous epithelium. The inner layer here is called the visceral layer. But it is not made of simple squamous epithelium. It consists of something called podocytes. So podocytes are these little cells that have kind of extensions off of them. So they have little extensions with like little fingers off of them. And this is a terrible picture, but hopefully you get the idea. So these extensions have little fingers on them. And so here's the cell body there. And they interdigitate with other podocytes. So here's the arm of another podocyte. Here's another. Okay, I know that's a terrible picture, but they interdigitate and wrap around the glomerulus. Okay, and so the glomerulus, those capillaries that are wrapped with these podocytes here, if you remember, we looked at different types of capillaries, and hopefully you remember that in the glomerulus is the glomerulus is made up of fenestrated capillaries. And they're wrapped with these podocytes, which have these little interdigitated fingers there, and that allows the stuff to filter through. Okay, so we know that fenestrated capillaries are really leaky. Excuse me. Okay, so this renal corpuscle has something has a mechanism to it that I want to go ahead and mention. And in the distal convoluted tubule, there are cells, special cells that line it right here in the distal convoluted tubule. And these cells are called macula densa cells. And these cells monitor the filtrate coming through, okay? In the capillaries, right in here, there are special cells on here. And these cells are called juxtaglomerular cells. So juxtaglomerular cells. Another name for those is granular cells. They're the same thing. And these two sets of cells make up this thing called, down here, the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Juxtaglomerular apparatus. And this apparatus that's here, this group of cells, we've got one group of cells, the macula densa cells, that are monitoring the filtrate, and then these juxtaglomerular cells contain a substance that, when secreted, will have a certain effect on the body to adjust blood pressure or blood volume, or however you want to look at that. So we're going to talk about that specifically, but this is this apparatus that works to help monitor the filtrate. Okay. So that is the anatomy of this renal capsule. So the next video, we're going to talk about actual filtration. We're going to start talking about the actual physiology about what's going on.